Alright, well, hello the internet and welcome back to, I was about to say this is Ghost Goes Places. This is not Ghost Goes Places, though that has officially returned for the year. Welcome to episode 35 of Minecraft Creative, in which today we are continuing work on our harbour town, as we have been for the last, 2 months. Soon enough, we should be working on the military base project again, because by this point, I think the update should more or less be out. Yeah. I hope everyone's having a good week. I think this is the Wednesday video, and this is Friday, so my brain's like, oh, well, that's in, 5 days' time. Why am I recording it in 5 days' time, 5 days ahead of schedule? Because I can't record the voiceovers tomorrow because, well, tomorrow being Saturday, because, yeah, I'm going somewhere and have to go do stuff. It's not a Ghost Goes Places thing. It is life-related stuff, because I've got to go look around more unis, which is fantastic. Just what I want to do. Anyways, I have begun this episode by texturing in some paths. I wanted to start working out where I was going to have to terraform a way to put in more houses, where I needed to put in, more walls to raise the next level of houses up, because I'm not going to completely flatten that mountain. I actually want to work with it and learn to properly work into the terrain rather than making the terrain work for me. So to move on from that, I built this little wall section. I haven't built the houses in this section that I want to do. I want it to be, I don't know, I haven't worked out what I want to do with this space properly, whether I want it to be one house and a big garden, whether I want it to be a few little, cottages kind of just shoved in the corner that have been effectively surrounded by all of the, I guess gentrification, is that the right word? This area has been gentrified? Is that... I think that's the right word. I don't really know. I then picked out a block palette because I wanted to start by building up a couple of houses. Well, that's all we do this episode. Building up a couple of houses on the front of this wall. So we're now kind of coming around the corner away from the original section of the harbour, because I want to finish this. I want to finish one level at a time. Though saying that, at some point I have to go back and work on the initial level of the harbour, because I have kind of abandoned that. I need to build a market, which is probably going to be what I do as my next episode or something, because that's relatively simple. Keyword obviously being relatively. Knowing me, I will overcomplicate it, but they are just going to be basic market stalls in there that kind of makes the area feel busy and dense, and I'll probably have to put some trees in to fill the area up a bit more. So for this block palette, I decided I wanted to work with diorite, calcite, and the mushroom. So that's mushroom stem. I think it's mushroom stem. As well as using the copper grates. Are they copper grates? The one that has the holes in that you can use as windows, because that felt like a block palette I wanted to have some fun with. And then apparently I also built up another section using pale moss, andesite, and I think that was, grey concrete will be in that build. I think I was having to do something at this point, or my screen's massively frozen. I don't know, so I'm not going to play with the footage. I think everything's just frozen. And I was trying to build these at different houses, at different heights. I also then came to the realisation that I needed to do the roof. I'm going to assume that everything's kind of gone a bit slow, which isn't helping. Okay, we can work with that. Once again, even though I have another white building, right next to this one, I still put in a dark oak roof. I am ignoring the fact that the roof has connected to some of the walls. I don't particularly care. It works. I don't care either that this roof is entirely untextured. I was just trying to build something. I then went in and added a few little details because the front of the house just felt a bit boring. I still personally think it looks too flat. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe I could add, say, some pale oak signs on the front to try and break up the texture of the front of the house. I'm not totally sure. If anyone has any ideas, I am at this point open to them. I might set the next house back by a block, which admittedly will make it quite small, but I think that could work in trying to add some more depth to this section of the harbour. I'm probably just going to turn the bit below this into on the next layer down from this, I'm probably just going to turn it into a meadow or something. Maybe some more fishing huts, maybe a little farm. I'm not totally sure. There's a lot of space around that needs stuff being done. There's lots of people downstairs talking now. My sister's back. She's almost done with her exam, so yay for my sister. Oh, here we go. Doing interiors, my favourite, because I don't have to deal with roofs. I used scaffolding and stairs to make tables and chairs. I've once again done the usual of a trapdoor as a counter. It's trying to make this house feel cluttered, but also actually being able to move through the whole thing completely unobstructed. I normally try and section it so I have loads of space, but that's not really an option. I consistently also go looking for more things that I can use as clutter and then generally decide that hasn't worked. I added in this little cover for the roof. The door. I don't know if I like it. It might go in the long run, but who knows. Part of this is about just building and not changing things necessarily, even if I don't like them, but so that I can just see what I've worked on. I then went in and added a bunch of paintings along the walls of stuff to try and make it look like graffiti, because this is meant to be like a snug alleyway, but I should not have therefore done it as 3 blocks wide. But oh well, that's what we've done, that's what we go with. I then went in and did a little bit of terraforming so that you could start to see the front of that wall coming out. I also believe I went in and fixed the rest of the wall now so that it comes all the way up. Again, I still need to work out where this wall's going to wrap round to now. Am I going to change what block I'm doing the wall in? I don't really know. There's a lot of who knows what's going to happen next. I want to make sure there's lots of winding paths in this town, so I've now kind of got to work out how to link this over to the desert section, because I really want it to have lots and lots of layers and lots of different routes that you can take. I feel like that's fun, and I want there to be little alleyways that aren't used as often, but you need them to get to specific builds. That's the word. But yeah, again, that is effectively it for this video. Well done me. Here I am just finishing off a few of the wall bits. I need to put in like the stairs and stuff upside down to add that kind of divot in the wall, but that is something I can do either off camera or in a later episode. So without further ado, goodbye the internet.